Welcome to hell! Yeah, sorry, I meant Venus. Welcome to Venus. Some say it's Earth's twin, but this world is nothing like home. And you're about to experience this scorching hot landscape firsthand. Your mission is to spend 5 seconds on this hellish planet. And trust me, these are going to be a very long 5 seconds. Venus is the second planet from the Sun and our nearest neighbor. At its closest approach, Venus is a mere 40 million kilometers away from us. After just 4 months in space, you'd finally be able to witness this beautiful but deadly planet up close. 4.5 billion years ago, Venus and Earth formed in the same corner of our solar system. This space rock is about the same size as Earth, and its gravity is similar too, but unlike our home, the surface situation on Venus is extreme. We know this because we've sent probes to this scorching world. Some probes orbited it, some made a flyby, and some even landed on the surface of Venus, but those didn't last very long. What happened to them? Well, that's what you're about to find out. Time to make your way down to the surface. Don't these clouds look beautiful? Well, don't inhale them. These yellowish bands streaking across the sky are clouds of sulfuric acid. If you could only get a whiff of them, you'd smell the reek of rotten eggs. But to do that, you'd need to remove your helmet, and I definitely do not recommend that. At a height of 50 kilometers above the surface, visibility is poor. You'd hardly be able to see anything. The incredibly thick atmosphere would block views of this planet and its tens of thousands of volcanoes. The atmosphere is mostly made up of carbon dioxide, and because it's so thick, it traps heat on the planet's surface, keeping it nice and toasty. Just how toasty are we talking? You're gonna find out the hard way. As you descend another 15 kilometers, the haze would begin to clear. The world below would finally reveal itself. A rust-colored surface covered in mountains and volcanoes. Looks like this volcano is still active. You'd fly around a little to collect some samples and take in the view. Yep, the atmosphere is mostly carbon dioxide with traces of nitrogen. That checks out. Okay, well, let's see if you can land here. This looks like the spot.
Mission Control, am I clear for landing? Mission Control? Looks like there's no signal. Initiating the landing sequence without clearance. Fingers crossed.
Landing your spacecraft would kick up clouds of dust that would take several minutes to settle down in the soupy atmosphere. As it clears, you'd look up into the sky, but you wouldn't find the familiar yellow circle of the sun. On Venus, it always looks like dawn, no matter what time of day it is. That's because the Venusian atmosphere only lets about 10% of the sunlight that hits it reach the surface. But wait, what were we saying earlier about the space probe that landed on Venus? Oh yeah, Venera 13. This Soviet probe made its fatal landing back in 1981. It survived the descent and lasted for a whopping 127 minutes. That's longer than any other spacecraft that had made it to the surface. But then, Venera 13 gave way to the violent, uninviting environment of this hell. It was likely crushed under extreme pressure. Or it melted. But it's too late to turn around now. You've lived through the 1-hour-long landing, and you're so close. All you need to do to complete your mission is to spend 5 seconds out there. Yeah, out there. in the most extreme environment you've ever been to. You made it! Whoa, the atmosphere is so strange. You can hardly lift your arms. Even though Venus has about the same gravity as Earth, you'd be feeling the sheer weight of its immensely dense air. It would feel like you were walking through water. Very hot water. And you'd be glad you were wearing so much protective gear. A quick look at your thermometer would tell you that it's a sweltering 475 degrees Celsius out here. That's hot enough to melt lead. Your pressurized suit would be working hard to keep you safe. Without it, you'd be crushed under all that pressure before you could even complete your mission. This isn't so bad after all. Hey, if a spacecraft could last over 2 hours, some 40 years ago, well, you and your shiny new gear can survive longer, right? Venus is right here for you to discover. Just take a few more steps. Suddenly, something distracts you from the first ever first-hand human analysis of Venus's surface conditions. Your protective suit breaks. The drastic pressure shift would immediately make you feel like you were deep underwater. With an atmospheric pressure 90 times that of Earth, Venus would be crushing you from all directions. At the same time, you'd be struggling to breathe in an atmosphere without any oxygen. Any atmosphere you did manage to inhale would scald the inside of your mouth and the top of your throat. Unless you could scramble very quickly back to the safety of your spacecraft, you'd be dead within seconds. Hey, it could be worse. High above you, sulfuric acid clouds would be raining acid. But in this unbearably hot environment, the toxic rain wouldn't reach the surface. It would evaporate long before that. So at least you wouldn't have to worry about acid dissolving your skin and bones. That would be kind of gruesome. "635 light years away from Earth, there's a world covered in liquid ocean. A world where you wouldn't die a horrible death. Probably. Welcome to Kepler 22b.
Hey y'all, I've got an exciting mission to land on and explore a planet that could be Earth 2.0. What if guy got tired of sending me to die in the solar system, so this time I'm traveling to an exoplanet where I might actually have a chance to survive. Exoplanets are like planets in our solar system, except they orbit different stars. They're cool, but there's just one problem. Exoplanets are really far away. So your solar system is this tiny little neighborhood with planets and moons orbiting around a sun in its center. And potentially, light years away, there are billions of other tiny little neighborhoods left to be explored. Now, you might have heard of the exoplanet that I'm going to. It's called Kepler 22b, and it's not that far. Okay, only 635 light years. I'll be there in no time.
Even with advanced propulsion technology, a spacecraft traveling at 20% of the speed of light would require 3,175 Earth years to reach Kepler 22b.
Buzzkill. Well, luckily, I'm at a spaceport, and they have this, warp drive technology. So I'll be there in a jiff.
The warp drive technology allows a spaceship to travel faster than light by bending space-time. The warp drive creates a bubble around the ship, moving it through space safely, 99.7% of the time.
Yeah, Rico, technobabble, blah, blah, blah. Never tell me the odds, kid. Let's do this. Well, hello, Kepler.
The Kepler-22 star system is a lot simpler than our solar system. It's only got one exoplanet in it. But this exoplanet, named Kepler-22b, is intriguing. It orbits within the star's habitable zone. And that means one important thing.
Alien civilization.
Water. It means water.
Oh.
Whenever a planet is in the habitable zone of its star, it means that the temperature is warm enough for water to remain in a liquid state, instead of evaporating, like it would, say, on Venus, or freezing like it would on Mars. And the Kepler-22 star is almost exactly like our Sun. It's a slightly smaller G-type star, which means it has a surface temperature of around 5,500 Kelvin. That's 5,200 degrees Celsius. Not too bad for a distant star system, except one thing. This exoplanet, Kepler-22b, is a lot bigger than Earth.
I don't see how that's a problem. It's just more surface to love. I mean, sure, it might have stronger gravity or, like, earthquakes. Kepler quakes? But, like, Earth has earthquakes too, and it's doing just fine.
The larger size of the exoplanet might indicate the presence of a thick atmosphere, leading to high surface pressure. This could result in water existing in a supercritical state, neither a true liquid nor gas, making it less suitable for life as we know it.
It's true, scientists think Kepler-22b might be covered with a liquid ocean, but they can't be sure what that ocean is like. Your mission is to land down there and test the water. And the atmosphere.
Yeah, I was just gonna, land. So, here goes the landing sequence. Whew. It's been almost an hour, and all I see is water. Water! Everywhere water! I think I can land here. Seriously, Kepler, you are one disappointing exoplanet. Give up, Rico. Wake me up if you see any land.
My sensors read land right below us. You are cleared for landing.
Seriously? I can't even take a nap. Okay, let's land. Whoa, this atmosphere is thick! Rico, give me some stats on this planet.
Kepler-22b is a super-Earth, 2.1 times larger and 9.1 times more massive than Earth. It has an orbital period of 289.9 Earth days. It also has water.
Oh, does it? Does it have water? Oh God, thank you so much, Rico. You know, the atmosphere actually kind of looks breathable too. You know, this started out super annoying, but this is actually kind of cool.
Analyzing Kepler-22b atmosphere.
You do that. I'm gonna go see what's out there. Interesting. Oh. That feels nice. I can go skinny dipping in here.
That would violate YouTube's terms of service.
Not if it's a music video, technically. Oh, Rico, what's the temperature out here? I'm starting to feel like some warm bread in a toaster. Toasty.
The equilibrium temperature on Kepler 22b is estimated to be 22 degrees Celsius. However, my sensors pick up a much higher surface temperature.
If Kepler 22b has a thick atmosphere, it would cover the planet like a blanket, heating it up and turning it into an exoplanetary Venus. If the temperature becomes too high, all the water will turn into vapor and Kepler 22b will stop being a habitable world. On the other hand, if Kepler has no atmosphere, well, it might become a frozen world. It would be incredibly cold at night because with no atmosphere, there would be nothing to retain the heat from the day.
That sounds just like Mercury. Not my favorite planet. My favorite planet is Uranus. Kepler 22b, it seems okay. It's a little tough to walk here.
The surface gravity on Kepler 22b is approximately 2.07 times the gravity of Earth.
Yeah, thanks. I noticed that one, Rico. Hey, have you analyzed the atmosphere yet?
Analysis in process.
Oh, so the answer was no. You're still okay.
The thick atmosphere of Kepler 22b likely contains high levels of hydrogen and helium. Those are two gases that are common on larger planets. But if there isn't any oxygen in the atmosphere, you wouldn't be able to breathe. What you should also worry about is the water. It could be acidic or contaminated with toxic elements like heavy metals. Exposure to the body could prove fatal.
Great. So, there's water on Kepler 22b, not that I can drink it, and the atmosphere's in place, and the temperature's all right. What am I missing? Where's all the life?
If life exists on Kepler, it might be microbial. You wouldn't be able to see it without special equipment.
Did you hear that?
My scans are not picking up any life forms.
I gotta check this out. I just need a break first. All this walking around makes me sore. I gotta sit down for a second. I just need to catch my breath.
The atmosphere analysis is not complete.
It's okay. 1 second's not gonna kill me.
Analysis complete.
Something's wrong.
The atmosphere caused your lungs to collapse as a result of barotrauma.
Okay. Thank you.
It looks like the sudden increase in pressure forced the air in Chase's lungs to compress and rupture. One internal organ failure after another, and just like that, he's gone. But don't worry, he'll show up for his next adventure.
Titan.
The most majestic of Saturn's many moons. And the most promising for life, too. It's got a beautiful view and liquid lakes on its surface. The only problem is, those lakes aren't filled with water. They're filled with liquid methane. Your mission is to take a 5-second dip in one of them. Of course, you'd have to land on Titan first, so buckle up for the most epic adventure of your lifetime. Titan is far. Even at its closest to Earth, this icy moon is still 1.2 billion kilometers away from us. You'd be looking at roughly 7 years of travel alone in a spaceship. You'd need lots of provisions and a super advanced life support system. You know, it would be good if you made it to Titan and didn't freeze or suffocate somewhere in the middle of the solar system. Yeah, that's not going to happen to you. Just sit back and enjoy the ride. Seeing Saturn up close is amazing. Definitely the most spectacular of all the ringed planets in the solar system, but hey, enough sightseeing, it's time to make your way to your destination. Titan is unique in many ways. For one, it's larger than our moon. It's even bigger than Mercury, the smallest planet in our cosmic neighborhood. It's the only moon that has a thick atmosphere. It's also the only one that's covered in liquid lakes, rivers, and seas. And sometimes it rains here too. Descending on Titan would take you about 2.5 hours, and you couldn't just land anywhere. Like I say, Titan is covered in lakes, so unless you wanted to dip your entire spacecraft in liquid methane, you better choose your landing site carefully. Let's try this again. Okay, now that you've properly landed on Titan, let's go explore this icy world. This moon of Saturn might look a lot like Venus, but it's not as hellishly hot. Titan is one of the most hospitable places in the solar system. Yeah, its gravity is only 14% of Earth's, but its thicker atmosphere makes it possible for you to walk there even without a spacesuit. But I wouldn't recommend that. You'd need the spacesuit to keep you warm. Titan is very far away from the sun, so it doesn't receive as much warmth as we do here on Earth. You'd be taking a brisk stroll at a chilling minus 180 degrees Celsius. Well, you wouldn't exactly be strolling. More like bouncing around? Yeah, thanks to Titan's weaker gravity, you'd feel a lot lighter and could jump higher and move with less effort. Now, Titan's atmosphere is mostly nitrogen, very similar to Earth's, but you still couldn't breathe on this moon because, well, that's where the similarity ends. While 95% of the air here is nitrogen, the remaining 5% is methane. You'd need an oxygen tank to survive even 5 seconds on this world. Yeah, it's not just the lakes that have methane in them. There's plenty of methane in Titan's clouds, and sometimes it even rains methane. But this rain isn't anything like you've seen on Earth. It would be more like rain in slow motion, thanks to Titan's lower gravity and thick atmosphere. On Earth, raindrops fall at about 9 meters per second, but on Titan, their speed is only about 1.6 meters per second. That's 6 times slower. It would be pretty cool to walk in the rain here. But hey, you didn't come here for a walk in the rain. You came to take a dip in Titan's lakes.
I wouldn't do that if I were you.
Oh, excuse me? Who's here?
Alright, let's do this. What's up, everybody? I'm Chase. I'm from the year 3050. And for the last, well, things are a bit wobbly where I come from. I've been traveling through space and time a lot. Thing is, I die a lot. Like, a lot. It's kind of like my special power. It all started when I touched this shiny alien cube. Now I can jump between worlds, dimensions, time, and when I die, I always come back. I'm still trying to figure that one out. I think it has something to do with Einstein? I don't know. It's pretty cool. I jumped on the rings of distant planets, been the guest of honor at an alien feast, and not in a good way. And there was that one time I accidentally started an interstellar war. Cute. But now I'm here on Titan to stop you from doing, whatever it is you're doing. Because you only live once, unless you're me. So, your mission is to take a swim in one of these methane pools? Let me break it down for you. First off, this ain't no spa day. It's like diving into a freezer. Titan's got this super chilly vat going on, you know what I mean? At these temperatures, water's harder than concrete. But methane and ethane, they're like, yeah, it's cold, bruv, but like, we can still chill in liquid form. And so they gather up in these cool little pools.
Okay, I knew that too.
Sorry, no interrupting. I'm still just getting to the good part.
Now, let's say you're wearing that fancy spacesuit. Good news, you won't freeze instantly into an astronaut popsicle. Bad news, that suit's gonna float. If, for some wild reason, you decided to take the plunge without the suit, well, that's it, my friend. Lights out! You see, the intense cold would freeze you down to your bone. You couldn't move a muscle. And then, the lack of oxygen would get jump. But 5 seconds with the spacesuit on, we'll definitely survive. Probably. Let's test it.
Okay.
Seems like someone's spacesuit can't withstand the cold. Someone needs an upgrade. It's so refreshing out here. I think I'll just stay another 5 seconds just to really enjoy it. Hot.
Chase?
Don't worry. These sparks are supposed to happen. Oh, it's like a stabbing, burning feeling.
It appears that the cold temperature cracked his suit and methane reacted with the oxygen tank inside it. He should have read about this in the mission brief. Well, just leave him here, I guess? If this is how you picture walking on Uranus, you're wrong. Let's start this again. Are you ready to take a trip to the outer regions of the solar system? To explore the weirdest planet in our cosmic neighborhood? To venture down into a place that's never been studied up close by any spacecraft? Buckle up for an icy, violent, and stinky adventure because your mission is to spend 5 seconds on Uranus and come back. If you can. Traveling to Uranus would be a long, strange journey. First, you'd have to spend 10 long years in a spaceship, speeding toward the outskirts of the solar system. If you're lucky, you might even pass Jupiter and Saturn on the way. Just make sure you pack enough food and fuel. Well, there are some things you should know about this world. Uranus isn't a rocky planet like Earth. It's an ice giant like Neptune, and it's the only planet in the solar system that spins on its side. It spins fast, too. One day on Uranus is just 17 Earth hours. Of course, you wouldn't last that long on it. Not a chance. Once you arrived at your destination, you'd still have some work to do to get close to this giant blue planet. You might have to dodge Uranian rings. Yeah, Uranus has rings. 13 of them. They aren't big and majestic like the gorgeous rings of Saturn. The outer rings are bright and easy to spot, but the inner rings are narrow and dark. You'd have to navigate this part of the trip with the utmost care. As you made your way through the dusty rings of Uranus, you'd see its glorious blue atmosphere up close for the first time in human history. Take a moment to enjoy the...
Uranus. What an oddballs planet. You know, I flew by it a month ago. That was fun. You want to know why nobody, and I mean nobody, has ever tried to land anything on the surface of this beautiful planet? Because Uranus has no surface. It's just a swirling ball of toxic gas compressed around a small, icy core. Oh, and wait till I tell you why those gases on Uranus are toxic. Yeah. Gross.
Yeah, okay, thanks for your input, Chase. It's true, Uranus might have a calming blue color, but it's cold and toxic. Not the kind of blue planet you want to visit.
That's okay. I think you should sit this one out. Here I go! Woohoo! It's brisk here. Oh, Rico, what's the temperature?
Minus 224 degrees Celsius.
Oh, that's cold. That explains why I can't feel my fingers, or my toes, or the rest of my body. Okay, well, at least those 5 seconds are done. Okay, Rico, it's time to go home. Let's bounce.
Impossible. If my calculations are correct, you will reach the icy core in 54.4 minutes.
So? What? That wasn't the plan. And what's 0.4 of a minute? Use seconds, you dumb bot!
I suggest you take this opportunity to study the planet up close and report back.
Well, I suggest you take this opportunity and stuff it up your charging port!
I don't have a charging port.
No one cares, Rico! No one cares! Honestly, this sucks. Uranus smells like
Yeah, the reason Uranus smells so bad is that the clouds in its upper atmosphere are partially made up of hydrogen sulfide. Not only does this make the planet stink, but it's also pretty toxic. Whatever you do, do not inhale it. If you did, it'd make you faint and die instantly.
What? It would have been real nice to know this before I jumped.
Yeah, well, after falling through the stinky clouds at the top atmosphere, you'd find yourself in the mix of 82% hydrogen, 15% helium, and a bit of methane. Methane gas is what gives Uranus that bluish-green haze because it absorbs light at the red end of the spectrum.
Huh, these clouds are getting a little weird. Kind of floaty.
Yeah, the atmosphere on Uranus is very dense. After passing through its top layer, you'd stop falling and start swimming in it instead. As you were paddling deeper, you'd start getting pelted by frozen gas crystals. But at least the temperature would be rising.
I don't know about that. I don't feel warm at all. Rico, give me the stats.
The temperature around you has indeed gone up to minus 208 degrees Celsius. My calculations show you can expect minus 153 degrees Celsius in the lower atmosphere.
Cool. Great. Ow. Ow. What is that?
That? Well, that's diamond rain. Yeah, on Uranus, it rains diamonds. That's because the Uranian atmosphere is rich in methane, a single carbon compound. Under extreme pressure, the methane molecules break apart and crystallize into diamonds. But the worst part is the wind. You'd be dealing with winds gusting at speeds of up to 900 kilometers per hour. That's 3.5 times stronger than a Category 5 hurricane here on Earth.
Rico, it's getting tight in here. Oh, I can hardly breathe. And when I do breathe, it smells like X.
Of course. The pressure is 100 times greater than the atmospheric pressure at Earth's sea level. You are approaching the mantle.
The good news is you wouldn't splatter on anything because there's not much in the way of solids on Uranus. The Uranian mantle is made of water, ammonia, and methane ice. It would be pitch black in here, and thanks to the extreme gravity, you wouldn't be able to move a muscle. And it would still be incredibly cold. What you should be worried about is the immense pressure that would be rapidly increasing the closer you got to the planet's center. It would squish you before you ever got to the core.
Being crushed by Uranus. I always thought it would be way nicer.
Well, in this extreme pressure environment, your carbon-based body could turn into diamonds and drop down into the core. What a spectacular way to finish this one-way trip to the center of Uranus. Chase? Oh, right. Our solar system is enormous. There are so many planets and moons that are a lot more hospitable for a 5-second mission than Uranus. Ah, Mars, the red planet, and our potential new home. Well, Mars isn't as hospitable as it sounds. It's really inhospitable. It might be a balmy 20 degrees Celsius during the day, but at night, the temperatures can drop to minus 153 degrees Celsius.
Okay, if you don't know what minus 153 degrees Celsius is, it's intensely cold. It's like minus 243 degrees Fahrenheit. It's the type of temperature that will give you frostbite in seconds. In minutes, you'll die from hypothermia. Seriously, guys, learn the metric system. Also, we do the conversion for you in the closed captions.
And if you think Uranus smells bad, well, that's because you haven't been to Mars yet. Yeah, the red planet smells like rust and gunpowder.
But when I wear my helmet, all I smell is me, and I smell pretty good. Most of the time.
Well, you wouldn't be able to breathe on Mars anyway. The planet barely has any atmosphere. Most of it is carbon dioxide with only trace amounts of oxygen. Luckily, this time we aren't sending you to Mars. We've decided to sacrifice Chase for this mission.
What did you mean by sacrifice?
I mean send. We sent Chase up to set up a base on Mars and report back. Hey, he made it! Welcome to the Red Planet.
Kinda nothing here, huh? I thought there'd be more stuff, you know, Rico? Any ideas?
I detect no breathable air, high levels of radiation exposure, low pressure, and frequent dust storms. If you want to survive on Mars, you must build a habitat.
Great idea. How long will that take?
With the materials you transported aboard the Starship, I calculate it will take about 3 months to assemble a simple base.
That's not so bad. I better get moving.
Now, building a habitat on Mars wouldn't be so simple. It's got to be airtight and insulated to protect Chase from radiation and Martian dust storms. It also needs to have a sustainable life support system to manage air, water, and waste. And, of course, Chase will need to get power from solar panels.
You don't want to know where I get my drinkable water from. But I'll tell you anyways. I could extract water from the Martian soil or atmosphere, but it's so much work. Instead, I recycle water from things like sweat and pee. I just try not to think about it.
The sensors are picking up a micrometeorite headed straight for the base. Potential hazard detected.
Don't sweat it, Rico. We got enough water. Base is fine. I built it myself. Here, let me give you a tour of my crib. Welcome to the fanciest pad on the planet. Over here is where I sleep. And over here is where I eat. And over there is a window. And this is my luxury first aid corner, in case I get hit by like a dust storm. Those babies travel at like 100 km/h. They could easily slice through my spacesuit. Oh, you gotta see my Michelin star greenhouse. It's 5 stars because it's rated out of this world. It's my favorite place in the base. Only thing is, I had to build it unattached to my main living quarters because Rico forgot to include a tunnel in the first base plan. So now every time I gotta go check on my plants, I have to go outside. It's exhausting. That's why I don't bother to take off my helmet when I pop into my habitat. I'm all about efficiency. Plus, it's a lot to animate, actually. Check out these potatoes. They look pretty good. Take that, Matt Damon.
Micrometeorite is approaching the base. I calculate the chance of it striking the habitat as 87.42%.
Rico, silencio, por favor. I'm recording a YouTube video, my friend. Come on, and what did I tell you? Round the numbers. Okay, where was I? Oh, yeah, potatoes. It takes a lot of work to grow anything on Mars. Taters aren't my first choice. I'd grow burgers if I could, but we work with what we got. I keep my greenhouse nice and pressurized and at a comfy temperature of 16 degrees Celsius. And for those of you who hated the recycled pea stuff, you're gonna love this next part because as a fertilizer for the Martian soil, I use a super special ingredient, my poo. Not because I'm a sicko, but because Martian soil is literally garbage, figuratively speaking. It smells pretty bad in here. Ugh, but at least it doesn't smell as bad as Uranus.
Danger. Micrometeoroid. has breached the habitat. You must go there immediately.
What? Ah, damn meteoroid. Sorry, guys. I gotta go check this out.
Your helmet has sustained minor damage.
This is my favorite helmet. Rico, do I have a spare somewhere?
You have an extra helmet, but I have bad news.
Uh-huh. What? What now?
The extra helmet is back at the habitat.
Of course. Of course it is. Are you kidding me? 3 months on Mars! And I just finally start getting this thing working, and Mars has to ruin everything! Well, at least I have tape around here somewhere. Be back in a minute. Here, this should work. Rico, how's that storm looking?
Not good. A dust storm of this type, it can last for days.
Oh, great. That leaves me no choice. If I don't make it back in time, I'll lose everything and die. And I can't die now. I just finished building this sweet, sweet bachelor pad.
It's only a 5-second walk for you to reach your living quarters.
Okay, come on. It's only 5 seconds. You can do this, Chase. You can do this. Get your head in the game, boy. This helmet is useless. I'll go without it. 5 seconds to get back home. I can handle a little bit of frostbite.
I highly advise you don't do this.
Okay, well, if I don't make it, I'll see you guys on my next adventure. Chase out.
Looks like the atmospheric pressure killed him before the frostbite could. Didn't I say going out there without a helmet was a bad idea? Yeah, don't try this on your own. And don't worry, Chase will be fine. It's kind of his thing. He dies. A lot. But he always returns for another adventure.
Oh God! I don't think they're supposed to stretch like that! This is what Rico thinks is gonna happen to me when I jump into a black hole? Okay. I'm thinking that this is one of them wormhole-y black holes that's, gonna take me to another parallel universe or something instead of rip me to shreds.
I didn't say it would rip you to shreds. I said it would spaghettify you. Spaghettification is the process of being stretched by immense gravity until you're reduced to a thin stream of matter.
That doesn't sound any better. Besides, I'm more of a fusilli guy. But if that's what it takes for you guys to subscribe to my channel, I'll do it. Subscribe.
You are coming off as desperate.
Yeah, whatever, alright. I'm about to jump into this black hole for just 1 nanosecond. Can I travel to a parallel universe before I get pulled back out?
You never said anything about pulling you out. That would be impossible.
What?
The black hole's gravity pulls so hard that no amount of force is able to pull you out.
Rico!
You'll be stuck moving toward the center, no matter what.
Oh, come on! Oh man, I'm not starting.
I'm starting to not feel so good.
You're starting to move in slow motion, even if time still feels normal to you. This is because the strong gravitational field near the black hole slows down time relative to an observer far away, a concept known as time dilation.
That's not how Nolan did it in Interstellar.
Yes! I told you that would work, Rico! Never doubt your boy Chase! Oh. Just like I suspected, the black hole was actually a tunnel through space-time, a wormhole, as the science nerds call it. And the other end has dropped me into a parallel universe, instead of crushing me like Rico said it would. I'm a genius.
Don't celebrate too much yet.
Huh? Oh, for fuck's sake! Even in a parallel universe, everything's out to kill me.
This isn't the universe where you survive at the end of every episode.
Wait, what? You mean that exists?
No, that's not what I meant.
Oh, well, of course! Why didn't I think of that? Theoretically, there are countless parallel universes where every possible outcome of every event happens. So all I need to do is keep jumping from universe to universe until I find one where I don't die at the end of every episode.
We're in purely speculative territory now. It can't be that simple.
Watch me, Rico.
Maybe I can find a universe where I don't die, and my YouTube channel is hugely popular.
Oh, hey, that's looking better. Yeah, that's not happening. Let's try again. Hello? Are you guys real? I didn't sign up for this! Ah! Huh?
You see that vicious jealousy in chimpanzees. One of the things they attack people over is
Okay. This is getting weird. Alright. Huh. Everything seems pretty normal. Huh. Bust into this hospital and steal all the that was a sick way. What up? It's your boy Chase. Hey, what's up, broskies? So today, I'm gonna be doing the train prank, where I'm gonna set up 400 mannequins, and we're gonna see which one of us gets hit by the train first. It's gonna be epic. Holy crap! Rico! It's me! It's me! Oh. Hey, what's up, broskies? So today, I'm gonna be doing... Oh, man. Is that what I look like?
Yes, he is an exact match. Except he has 5% less body fat, 13% more symmetrical facial features.
Yeah, okay, I get it. Thank you very much for being very explicit. What's going on? After I get bolted into space by this train, we'll see if I survive. Probably land on the moon, I'll probably land on the moon, or maybe I'll end up in orbit. I love you guys too. Yeah, totally. Oh, let's take a photo. Yeah. No, I'd love to do more selfies. Okay, don't touch me there. Alright, chill. Yo, chase heads, chill. What are those things?
Subscribers.
Huh?
He has 500 million of them.
What? Hey, what up, dudes? That was totally a prank! I'm still chilling. Hey!
Catchphrase!
What am I watching here? It's a prank! I'm just kidding, you idiots! Why are you all screaming, bro? That's different. Bro? Hey, wait! Wait! Wait for me! Rico said, you can't jump into a black hole, and I was like, listen up, Rico boy. Chase here can definitely jump into this black hole. So that's what I did. I jumped in and spaghettified, well, fusillied myself all the way here. And somewhere between all this, I was on Joe Rogan, somebody wanted me to eat a bunch of hot dogs, and now I'm here. So, like, no matter what sick tech or rad gear you roll in with, you still totally bite it at the end of every episode? That's what you took away from this? I mean, I know it's lame, but like, no, bro, that's epic. I mean, you might bite it at the end of every episode, but at least you come back, smelling minty fresh as ever. Me? I just never die, no matter how wrecked or busted up I get. But you're living the dream. You've got your face on billboards. You've got mobs of crazy fans who love you. Or want to eat you. I'm not really sure what was happening over there, but it seemed cool. Bro, they're crazy. Like, they keep pushing me for gnarlier and crazier stunts. Now they've got my sponsor, Red Bull. Red Bull gives you wings. Hopped up on this massive live stream. I don't think my body's gonna come out in one piece, bro. Dude. They want you to go into that? Yeah, and I mean, like, I want to, and like, my agent's saying that it could slide me into more science-y videos, and that's where the big bucks are, man. But dude, if I go in there, I know I'll be stuck in there forever, just getting stretched for all eternity. I'm no superhero, not like you, bro. I'm no superhero. Where am I? I've got an idea. I'm gonna get in your pants. What? Bro, I don't think anyone's gonna believe that's me. That suit's way too tight. You can barely move, bro.
That's because he has 5% more body fat than you.
Yes, you had mentioned that already. Thank you, Rico. Wait, did you build this spacecraft? Yeah, bro. Why? Yeah, that's not gonna cut it. Cue the montage. Right now. Start it! Okay, so, if you flew a regular old spaceship into a black hole, it'd be a pretty short live stream. The gravity pulling on the part of the ship closest to the black hole is much stronger than the gravity pulling on the back of the ship. So, it'd be ripped in half long before you reach the center of the black hole. You'd also be bombarded from the intense amounts of radiation escaping from the hole, which would not only disable the spaceship's systems, but also melt your face off. Luckily, the spaceship I've built for you can withstand all that, but the technology required to do so is too complex for puny human brains to understand, so it won't actually be you flying the ship.
it'll be me, dressed as you. You just wait here until I go into the black hole. And then you reemerge with everyone thinking you just pulled off the most amazing feat in the history of the universe. Even though it was me, and I've technically done it a few times now. And then you'll have all the credibility you need to start that science channel you've always wanted. You really think you can fool all my fans, bro? Yeah, bro, I think I got it, dude. I might need a new suit, though. What's up, yars? It's your boy Chase, still alive. Oh, thanks, Slim Jimmy! You're my bro from another mother!
You might want to tone it down a bit. Besides, you still have time to change your mind. I thought this universe was everything you wanted.
Yeah, I think I'd rather have my small group of real supporters than these 500 million monsters. I miss you guys. You're the best, really. Remember when we went to the moon and I made that hamburger that you guys watched me choke to death on? You guys were there with me every step of the way. Plus, I'm starting to think that my dying thing is some kind of superpower. Should I get a suit? Like a super suit?
Wow, that really went to your head.
I don't know what you mean. Here we go, bros! Grab your Red Bulls and crush them on your face in 2, 1! Wah! Whoa, bros! Did it work? Rico, do you see the other chase anywhere? Huh? Wait. How did we end up right back where we started?
What are you talking about?
You know, the parallel universes, the other chase, the live stream, the Joe Rogan experience. You don't remember any of this?
No. As soon as you entered the black hole, you were immediately spaghettified to death. And now, you are here.
No, there's no way I imagined all that. Rico, check your hard drives or something. We traveled several very different universes. We jumped in like 5 black holes.
The concept of traveling to a parallel universe through a black hole is extremely unlikely. Even if it was possible, the odds of you passing through the event horizon before dying are very, 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 very low.
But not impossible for someone with superpowers. Oh no, dude! Oh, it's just a prank, bro! Stop being so dead about it. Do you see that? Well, obviously not, you're looking at me. But that's Jupiter. And guess what? Nobody knows exactly what it's made of. But today, we're gonna fix that, because I'm jumping straight in.
Would you like me to pull the information I have on Jupiter's composition?
No, not now, Rico. Okay, so there are some things we do know about Jupiter. For example, the fact that it has 5 layers. Rico seems to think I won't make it past the 3rd one, but I'm gonna prove that silly robot wrong. I mean, I have to, because once I get to that last layer, it's gonna make me rich, baby. Space rich. And all the while, I'll be filming some epic, never before seen footage for you guys. Nothing can go wrong. Ow. Okay, we're heading off to Jupiter in a bit. I just have to refuel first. Rico, was there no other moon to make a pit stop? Ganymede is like so freezing out here. It's like a minus 130 degrees.
Despite its sub-zero temperatures, Ganymede is an optimal landing choice, as it is the only moon in the solar system with its own magnetic field.
Fine, well, Jupiter has the answer to my refueling problems forever, so long as I get to its mystery core.
It's true that we don't know for sure what Jupiter's core is made of, but we do know that Jupiter is the largest and oldest planet in our solar system. It has more than twice the mass of all the other planets combined. And with a radius of 70,000 kilometers, it's 11 times wider than Earth. This planet is also a gas giant made up of the leftovers from the formation of the Sun 4.5 billion years ago.
Oh, damn! Rico, Jupiter has a massive freaking pimple! Let's land there.
Warning, the Great Red Spot is a high-pressure anticyclone in Jupiter's atmosphere. Winds there reach speeds of 680 kilometers per hour.
Of all the places on Jupiter, the Great Red Spot is the last place you want to fly into. It's a storm that's been raging for at least 300 years. It's a lot bigger and a lot scarier than anything you've ever experienced on Earth.
I'll just approach it hurricane style and fly right down the center. It'll be fine. This is it. First person to ever fly into Jupiter's big red hole or whatever. Here we go!
Warning, temperature rising rapidly. Atmospheric temperature over 1,300 degrees Celsius.
Rico, what's going on?
System overheating. Cooling system.
Rico? Rico, you know I don't like pranks. Stop messing around with me, man.
This raging storm is so powerful, it creates sound waves that heat particles in the atmosphere and make this area 1,000 degrees hotter than the surrounding atmosphere. So, if you land here, you can count on, well, some discomfort.
Okay, I can fix this. Oh, no! Oh gosh, okay. These winds are way too strong. You know, if I close my eyes, it kind of feels like a roller coaster. I'm having fun. This is fun for me.
Jupiter's clouds are mostly ammonia and water. Because the winds on Jupiter are so violent and flow in opposite directions, they shape the clouds into conveyor belts around the gas giant. Some of the clouds reach speeds of up to 500 kilometers per hour. Not that you can avoid them now, as you've already plummeted into the raging planet.
Okay, wow, it's so cold that the ammonia is freezing into ice and hitting me in the face. Cool. Ouch. Rico, please, come back. If you come back, I promise I'll never be mean to you again. Huh? Oh, finally! Rico, you can't just take a siesta in the middle of the day, okay? We're not in Spain. We're in space. Now propel me to the second layer of the atmosphere. Idiot.
Propulsion commenced.
Oh, what is that smell? Rico, did you fart?
Negative.
Did I fart?
No one passed gas. At hotter temperatures, the ammonia in the clouds combines with the sulfide compounds to create ammonia hydrosulfide. which smells a lot like rotten eggs.
Oh god, it smells really bad in here, Rico. Maybe alien life does exist on Jupiter, except they all died a long time ago. Or maybe somebody hotboxed Jupiter with a bunch of burning trash. Ugh.
No, it's just the ammonia hydrosulfide.
Oh god, this sucks, Rico. Let's go to the next layer, quickly.
Depth reading. 200 kilometers below Jupiter's clouds. You are now in the outer interior. Atmospheric contents include hydrogen and helium.
Oh, chilling with some pretty standard stuff then. Hydrogen, helium, one cool as hell guy. It's just getting a little, hot.
Pressure reading. 3,039.75 bars. Temperature reading. 1,890 degrees Celsius.
It's so hot in here. I take the suit off, but then I die, so no thanks. Not dying like that again. I don't know how much pressure my camera can take because it's like the air, it's getting all weird and liquidy. This feels very tight in here.
Imagine 100,000 cars stacked on top of you from every direction. That's what it feels like as you approach Jupiter's interior. The pressure is so intense that even hydrogen atoms can't withstand it. Under that immense pressure, hydrogen atoms shed their electrons and form a charged, electrically conductive liquid. Think about what that can do to the atoms in a human body.
Think about it! Think about it! I'm living it, baby! And it hurts! Ow! Rico, quick! Bing! Cures for lungs being crushed by unreasonable amounts of pressure on WebMD.
No cure available.
Okay, search the Facebook comments.
Negative. If left untreated, you will experience inevitable death via liquidation.
Oh, God! Oh, I'm gonna be sick. Rico, open the space sick valve.
There is no spacesuit sick valve in this model.
What? What kind of crappy suit doesn't have a space sick valve? Oh man, I feel really sick to my stomach.
Nausea is not a symptom of high pressure.
What?
Yeah, maybe I should have mentioned earlier that the charged liquid hydrogen paired with Jupiter's rapid rotation creates one heck of a magnetic field. It accelerates charged particles to such high energies that anyone who enters Jupiter's magnetosphere is exposed to toxic radiation immediately. Luckily, Chase's spacesuit is strong enough to delay the effects for a little while.
Great. So it's a race to what'll kill me first? The pressure, the radiation, or those droning voiceovers? Luckily, I've managed to make a few upgrades to my suit along the way, so I should be able to last about another 15 more hours. Rico, let's get going. What if guy, feel free to stay behind.
Warning, you are entering uncharted territory.
Wow, don't be mad, Rico, just because you thought I'd be dead at this point. I can't see anything. Rico, activate the augmented sensory system.
Activating stage 1 of ASS.
And this is why I decided to come here. This is metallic hydrogen. If I collect enough of this stuff, I'll be richer than Jeff Bezos.
You can collect enough metallic hydrogen to power your spaceship for 2 billion light years and repay all your burger debt. Leaving now would provide just enough suit resources to make it out alive. This could be your first successful mission.
Yeah, I mean, we could leave, but we're so close to the core. I'd be the first YouTuber ever. Let's just pop in for a quick check.
Unintelligent idea detected.
Rico, I'm so bored. Are we there yet?
You've been sinking for 4 hours. You have 8 more to go.
God, I'm so bad with time management.
Also, you have less than 9 hours of suit protection left.
Well, I guess this is a good time to tell you guys to go like and subscribe. I'm trying to become the first YouTuber to explore all of space, so, help your boy out. If you like and subscribe, we can go do more of these cool videos.
Approaching the planet's core. 5 minutes of suit protection remaining.
Okay, gotta move fast. What do we got down here? Some sort of like crazy alien life or super weapon, maybe like a Stargate or like some crazy super material.
Detecting ice, rock, and metal.
Okay, that sounds like stuff you could find on Earth. Maybe I need a second opinion.
Jupiter's core was made over 4.5 billion years ago during the creation of our solar system. Due to the extreme pressure and temperature, the core is not a kind of hard surface you might walk on. It's pretty liquid-like.
30 seconds of suit protection remaining.
You know what? I don't want to hear any of this negativity, Rico. Just get me out of here, okay? Activate the specialized upflow cyclone kit.
Suck not available. Suit protection failing.
The suck sucks. And why is it so hard to breathe and so hot all of a sudden?
Your suit protection is now depleted. You are now experiencing a pressure of 43,090,032 bars and a temperature of 29,095 degrees Celsius. The intense conditions are quickly crushing your lungs.
You know, you get crushed along with me, Rico. Go on.
Europa, the icy moon of Jupiter. A frigid world that would turn you into an astronaut popsicle. And an atmosphere that would take your breath away. Literally, because Europa's atmosphere is so thin it's almost non-existent. And while it's mostly made up of oxygen, this oxygen isn't breathable for you. You just wouldn't be able to inhale it in this extremely low-pressure environment. And this frozen world has a dark secret. Deep under its thick crust of ice, it might just hide life. That's why we're sending a member of our team on a mission to explore Europa and find out if anything can survive in this unforgiving environment. Chase, we need you on this one-way trip to Jupiter's neighborhood.
Mission Control, this is Chase, orbiting Europa and ready for landing. Did you know it would actually take you like 6 years to get here from Earth? But luckily, I'm already here, and I love finding new alien buddies when they're not trying to kill me.
All right, Chase. Initiate the landing sequence.
Already on it. Rico, start the landing sequence. I totally forgot.
Landing sequence initiated. 500 meters and descending. 400 meters. 100. Touchdown confirmed.
Oh, it's bright. It's bright. Oh, my eyeballs.
That's strange. Europa is 5 times farther from the sun than Earth and gets much less sunlight than we do. It must be so bright because of Europa's icy surface. All that ice is highly reflective. That, plus an almost absent atmosphere, could make the light feel very harsh. So just use the protective tinted visor and your eyes will be fine. Chase, what's your status?
Yeah, I'd say Europa's pretty similar to Earth. If Earth had no atmosphere, was covered in ice, and had absolutely no interesting oceans to see. So in short, it sucks, What If Guy. I'm freezing out here.
Yeah, you'd need an advanced thermal insulation layer in your suit to keep you warm. The surface temperature on Europa is about minus 145 degrees Celsius, and it can get as cold as minus 220 degrees Celsius. It's also bathed in radiation. That's because Europa orbits so close to Jupiter, and Jupiter has a massive magnetic field that traps a lot of high-energy particles inside it. Your spacesuit would need to be able to withstand that, too.
Great.
Europa is one of the 4 largest moons of Jupiter. It's still slightly smaller than our moon, but it's a lot more exciting. Mainly because it has the potential to host life.
Looks pretty lifeless, if you ask me.
Well, it is, on the surface. Look, life needs 3 ingredients to exist on any world. the first one is liquid water. Well, Europa has plenty of that. NASA's Galileo spacecraft, which spent 8 years orbiting Jupiter, gathered some data on Europa too. And that data led scientists to believe that this moon has twice as much water as all of Earth's oceans.
Well, I regret to report that your scientist data is wrong. I don't see no water, only ice. This mission is a waste of my precious time.
No, it isn't. You don't see them because these enormous oceans aren't on the surface. They're deep below Europa's thick, icy crust. That brings us to another ingredient for life: energy. On Earth, life mostly gets energy from the sun, but that's not the case on Europa. First of all, because Europa is so far away from the sun, and secondly, because if there is life on Europa, it's likely we'd find it under the ice, where there's no sunlight at all. Europa gets its energy from the effects of tidal heating, and it has Jupiter to thank for that. Yeah, the enormous gravity of the solar system's biggest planet is constantly pulling on Europa, bulging and cracking its ice. This causes friction, and the friction heats this moon from the inside. That's why Europa's subsurface ocean doesn't freeze over like the rest of this frigid world. Europa might also have hydrothermal vents on its ocean floor, just like Earth does. These vents spew out heat, energy, and chemicals, potentially creating a habitable environment around them. The last ingredient for life is chemical elements. Most living things are made up of stuff like carbon, hydrogen, nitrogen, oxygen, phosphorus, and sulfur. And based on the data we collected about Europa, this moon's got all that. But of course, no one has ever been on Europa to confirm this. Until now.
And what's that?
Yeah, those are Europa's famous cryovolcanoes. These volcanoes don't erupt with lava, but with water and ice.
Ice volcanoes? That's sick! Oh my god. Okay. So, how do you suggest I find life here? This ice looks thick.
Yeah, you'd have to drill through it. And you'd need special equipment, like a high-performance drill designed for extreme cold, electrically powered by a portable nuclear generator, lightweight with a heating mechanism and a sample retrieval system.
Right, great. So just like the everyday stuff that you would just happen to carry around with you on your spaceship. No, I'm serious. I happen to have that on my spaceship. I have the best drill in the universe. I'm so excited to meet who's down here.
Oh, hold on. The chances of seeing any kind of life with your own eyes are slim. Because that life, if it exists, is likely microscopic. But if you get a sample of that salty water, well, you can examine it and maybe find traces of microorganisms.
That's not how I pictured this mission, but well, since we're here, let's do this.
While you can't improve the odds of seeing aliens on Europa, you can increase the opportunity of seeing more of Chase's epic adventures on What If. We've already traveled with him to Titan, Venus, even Uranus, and there's so much more we want to show you. That's why we launched our What If Explorers Club on Patreon. That's where we give you the top secret behind the scenes, extended director's cuts, mind-blowing art, epic merch discounts, and our endless love and gratitude. Support us on Patreon to get exclusive content and help us send Chase to his death over and over and over again.
Hey! I don't feel so good. I think I might puke.
Your body temperature is rising. You're experiencing the symptoms of radiation poisoning.
I did warn you that radiation levels on Europa are high. Even in your spacesuit, you'd still feel headaches, nausea, dizziness, all the fun that comes from radiation sickness. And all that after spending only a few hours on this moon. If you don't return to your shielded spacecraft immediately, this exposure will kill you.
Huh? Oh, no. I'm fine now. I'm good, Rico. I just need to lie down for 5 minutes.
That's a bad idea. You need to return the samples to the spaceship.
Right. The samples. I have to get the samples.
This is still so sick, though!
The impact force from the cryovolcano has damaged your spacesuit. You're losing oxygen.
I should have subscribed to the top tier of What If's Patreon.
In the extreme conditions of Europa, without the full protection of a suit, you'd only have a few minutes to get to safety. In just 1 minute, severe frostbite would damage your exposed skin. After 2 minutes, you'd start shivering. Cue hypothermia. Another 10 minutes later, and you'd lose consciousness and freeze to death. Oh, wait, scratch all that. Looks like Chase's suit lost all the oxygen and he just suffocated. Now we'll never know if those samples had any life in them. Mercury is a strange, hot mess of a planet. This rock is the closest one to the sun, but its surface temperatures can plummet to as low as minus 180 degrees Celsius. It has the strangest sunrises and sunsets in the entire solar system, and one day on this planet lasts about 2 years. But you don't have to survive a whole day down there. We're sending our team member Chase on a mission to spend just 5 seconds on Mercury.
Huh. Mercury doesn't sound so bad. I just don't get why it's so cold. It should be flaming hot.
Detecting extreme temperature fluctuations.
Yeah, Mercury is hot and cold at the same time. That's because instead of a proper atmosphere, Mercury has an exosphere. And this exosphere is almost as thin as the vacuum of space. It doesn't contain enough molecules to transfer heat around the planet, and that means surface temperatures go from one extreme to the other. During the day, the surface is blasted by intense sunlight, and that results in severe heat, like 430 degrees Celsius. Then at night, all that heat gets lost in space, and the temperatures drop to minus 180 degrees Celsius.
Well, at least there's no dust storms on Mercury.
Sure, there's no weather and no climate on this planet, but there are plenty of things that can kill you. Extreme heat, intense cold, lack of breathable air, severe solar radiation, and if anything goes wrong with your spacesuit, you'll be toast.
Toast or popsicle, depending on where I land. You know what? I've died way too many times to go out there without prep. Rico, fire up the simulatoratron.
X-29 Sim on standby.
Simulatoratron. Fine. Run the thing. Find me the safest place to land, please, Rico. Chop chop.
Yeah, finding a perfect landing spot on Mercury won't be easy. Mercury is the smallest planet in the solar system, even smaller than Saturn's moon Titan. And its terrain is just as bumpy as its temperature fluctuations. It has so many craters, cliffs, and ridges that finding a flat surface to land on will be a big if. Then, of course, there's the lack of atmosphere, which makes landing even bumpier. Without air resistance, your spaceship will be approaching the surface at a very high speed. So if you're not interested in crashing, you'll need a spaceship with a powerful propulsion system to slow you down during descent. And Mercury's proximity to the Sun complicates things even more. That's because the Sun's enormous gravity causes this planet to orbit the star on an elliptical path. That means that sometimes Mercury is closer to the Sun and other times it's further away. So landing on Mercury would be like trying to hit a moving target while being pulled strongly by the Sun, all the while trying to manage your speed in a place where you can't just parachute down. Yeah, it's hard. If you managed to drop down onto Mercury during its daytime, it would feel like you landed in an oven. The sun on this side of the planet is so incredibly intense that it will roast you alive. And Mercury's daytime lasts a long time. To be specific, one solar day on this planet goes for 176 Earth days. Weirdly, that's twice as long as 1 year on Mercury, as it only takes 88 Earth days to revolve around the Sun. Of course, there's no way you'd last a full Mercury day. You'd cook within minutes. Now, even NASA's spacewalk suits are designed to withstand temperatures of 120 degrees Celsius. Mercury is 3.5 times more scorching than that. Your spacesuit's outer layers would start degrading within seconds. In minutes, your suit's critical systems like life support and cooling would fail, and you'd experience instant heat stroke. Then, you'd be cooked and die.
Oh, so you're saying I could last 5 seconds on there? That's all I needed to hear. Rico, initiate landing sequence.
I don't recommend that. Your chances of returning to the ship after a 5-second walk on Mercury's daytime surface are calculating 0.012%.
Rico, oh my god, you just had to ruin all the fun every time. Okay, what are my other options?
Calculating. Try landing on Mercury's night side.
Okay.
Now, the dark side of Mercury would be freezing.
Detecting the temperature of minus 180 degrees Celsius.
Even your spacesuit's most advanced heating system wouldn't last long in this brutal environment. Within minutes, your heaters would fail and hypothermia would set in. Your body temperature would start dropping rapidly. In only 10 minutes, you'd be dead. And that's if nothing else goes wrong.
Yeah, landing on Mercury's night side is possible, but it would suck. Like, I wouldn't see a thing there. What's the point in going to a whole new planet if you can't enjoy the views? No, I'll take my chances with Mercury's extreme heat. Thank you very much.
Well, hold on. Maybe you don't have to. You could find a landing location between the two extremes. It's called the Terminator Zone.
Ah, the Terminator Zone!
Yeah. This is the zone between the day and night, and temperatures there might be bearable.
Calculating the Terminator Zone temperatures would be extremely hard. The temperature on Mercury drops to the extremes rapidly.
That's true, but this is your best shot at spending 5 seconds on Mercury. And hey, remember I mentioned the strange sunrises and sunsets on Mercury? Well, here's your chance to see them, too. Mercury has a double sunrise. It's because it moves on its axis very slowly but orbits the sun very quickly. At certain points, the orbital speed becomes faster than its rotational speed. And if you were standing on Mercury at that moment, you'd see the sunrise, then stop, move back, and rise again.
Oh, cool! Double sunrise! Rico, okay, let's do this. Let's land, this time for real.
Landing complete. The temperature reading at 130 degrees Celsius.
Okay, yeah, feeling toasty, but not cooked. Another successful mission for the Astro King and his dumb sidekick Rico. Okay, so when do we get to see this double sunrise?
You must remain on Mercury's surface for a few hours to witness the retrograde sunrise.
Oh, why didn't you say that before we landed? Okay, well, I mean, it's not that bad. I could stick around here for a few hours.
I don't recommend that. The temperature will rise drastically in 3.2 hours.
Oh God, Rico, just say 3 hours. It's fine. I'll be fine, okay? I'll stay right here next to the ship where... Ow! Okay, that rock is hot. Don't read into that. Nice. Rico, what was that?
A micrometeorite hit your spacesuit. You're losing oxygen.
Skay, hot. Can't breathe. Why can't I ever get hit by a macro meteorite? Why does this always take so long? I didn't even see the double sunrise. I hope
What if guy puts it on his Patreon because I subscribed last month at the Red Giant Deer? And then pitched a story where I don't die.
Oh, classic Chase. But don't worry, he'll be back for his next adventure. He always comes back. This is Io, one of the 4 largest moons of Jupiter. A terrifying, inhospitable world. It's got huge lakes of molten lava, bigger than an average city. There are hundreds of volcanic eruptions that could dwarf a skyscraper. Oh, and its surface is constantly ripped apart by the gravitational force of Jupiter itself. Yeah, Io is an...
You're sending me there, aren't you?
Hey, I'm not done with the introduction. Can you wait a second?
Oh yeah, sure, go ahead.
So, yeah, not a place that's likely to get a 5-star review on TripAdvisor. I mean, could you even spend 5 seconds on Io?
Here it comes.
Well, luckily, you don't need to, because we're sending our team member Chase to explore this fiery hellscape.
Sounds great. Fiery hellscape, almost certain death. What's not to like?
Before you worry about what's waiting for you on Io's surface, first you'd need to figure out how to get there. Thanks to Jupiter's elliptical orbit, the distance between it and Earth is constantly changing. Even when it's closest to us, Jupiter is still 588 million kilometers away. It took NASA's New Horizons spacecraft 1 year, 1 month, and 9 days to get there. And that's the fastest anyone, or more like anything, has ever made the trip.
Only?
1 year is nothing for this trip. And New Horizons was an interplanetary space probe that didn't carry any humans on board. With all the extra stuff like life support systems and food supplies weighing the ship down, this trip would take a lot longer. You'd be looking at 2.5 years or so. Well, unless you're traveling at light speed, in which case it would take a speedy 33 minutes.
Oh, okay, great. This ship travels at light speed, right, Rico?
Assumption incorrect.
I don't understand. Does it go at light speed?
Negative.
I'm not following you.
This ship does not travel at light speed.
No way I'm dying on this moon. So what if it's hot and volcanic and can crush me at any second? This time, I'm coming prepared. I know a place where I can get exactly the gear I need. This place is so epic, so awesome, only a few people know of it. Now we're talking. I got this fire proximity suit over here to get close to the volcanoes. This bad boy's good for up to 1,000 degrees.
I strongly advise against it. According to my calculations, fire proximity...
Yeah. Nobody asked you, Rico. Just make yourself useful and, I don't know, set a course to Io or something.
Watch out, Chase, it's a volcano!
Did you know that Jupiter has anywhere between 80 and 95 moons? You'd think there'd be a specific number, but no. Scientists are still counting them. Seems like they have a lot of time on their hands. Just like me. I'm gonna guess that's Io. Finally!
Correct. We arrived into the orbit of Io.
Cool. Yo everyone, finally made it to the orbit of Io. I am beyond stoked. What are we waiting for, Rico? Land this puppy.
Running pre-landing calculations.
Okay, well, neither of those look promising.
Landing on Io would be tough. I mean, even if you got down to the surface in one piece, it won't be a very smooth landing. You see, Jupiter's magnetic field is extremely powerful, much more powerful than Earth's magnetic field. And Io is only 422,000 kilometers away from Jupiter. That means Jupiter's enormous magnetosphere constantly rubs Io, and not in a gentle way.
What the hell is that?
That's Io. Well, parts of it anyway. Every second, Jupiter strips off literally a ton of material from Io. All that material then follows Io in its orbit around Jupiter. Here, the gas giant charges Io's stripped particles with radiation and transforms this particle cloud into plasma. Scientists call this a plasma torus, but what it really is a cloud of intense radiation in the shape of a donut.
Sounds like my kind of donut. Some people like an old-fashioned glaze. Some people like a classic chocolate with sprinkles. Me, I prefer an intense cloud of radiation. Plasma torus. Rico, by the way, this fire proximity suit is resistant to radiation, right?
Negative.
I don't get it. What do you mean?
I mean, no. Fire proximity suit is not suitable for environment with high radiation. Your chances of survival are 0.02%.
Great. What does RICO even stand for? Really encouraging, caring, omnibot.
Encouraging starts with an E.
Shut up, starts with an S. Alright, RICO doesn't recommend me using this fire proximity suit like it's not good for radiation or something. But guess what? I only need to spend 5 seconds on Io to complete my mission. And this suit has gotten me killed. Like, too many times, okay? This time, I plan to survive.
Landing sequence initiated.
Well, good luck making it to that constantly changing surface. Io's orbit cuts right across Jupiter's magnetic lines of force, and that basically turns Io into one massive ball-shaped electric generator with a serious amount of lightning in its upper atmosphere.
Rico?
This is crazy! I wish someone had shown me a simulation so I knew what to expect!
And so here you are, on the surface of Io, the most volcanically active world in our entire solar system. Yeah, you're gonna run into a lot of volcanoes, hundreds of them. And these volcanoes are extremely active. Many of them shoot fountains of lava, dozens of kilometers into the air.
This place sucks. Yikes, that was a rough landing. And what's up with all these volcanoes? I've never seen anything like it. Literally, I have never seen anything like this.
These are due to a constant gravitational pull. And it's not just because the biggest planet in the solar system happens to be right next door. Io's neighboring moons, Europa and Ganymede, are also pulling on it.
Guys, I landed on Io, but there was a problem. Not gonna lie, it wasn't a smooth landing, but like Io has all these volcanoes and like lava lakes everywhere. There's all these tidal forces pulling on this thing. The surface of the moon is constantly changing. So honestly, guys, get in the comments, but like don't be too harsh on Rico for his like awful calculations. Like seriously, the worst trash bag calculations I've ever seen. Oh, Rico, you were here the whole time? Anyways, gotta change into my fire something suit. Get out there, gotta go fast. The ship is sinking.
Warning. Temperature reading at 1,200 degrees Celsius.
Io is a cold moon with average surface temperatures of minus 130 degrees Celsius. But around its countless volcanoes, the temperature can get as high as 1,600 degrees Celsius. What you really need is a good space helmet, and make sure those air filtration systems are working. The atmosphere of Io is primarily made out of sulfur, which isn't great if you're a fan of breathing.
I do love breathing, but I also love this suit. It's so shiny. It's giving disco.
Feel like you could spend a lot more than 5 seconds here?
Yeah, looks like it.
What's this atmosphere made out of again?
Sulfur, the gas that is not recommended for breathing, and makes your voice deeper.
Yeah, the thing is, you can't survive more than a minute on this moon. Definitely not in that outfit. After just 30 seconds without proper protection from radiation and extreme temperatures, and without a good amount of oxygen to breathe, you'd lose consciousness. Your organs would shut down, one after another, and 1 or 2 minutes later, you'd be gone. Just like Chase over here. 40 light years from us, there's a world that looks a lot like Venus. Only, unlike the most sweltering, hellish planet in the solar system, this not-so-distant planet could actually be the next Earth. This world is called Gliese 12b.
That's right, I'm venturing out of the solar system to find an exoplanet that I won't die on. And yeah, I know I've said that before, but I'm feeling much better about Gliese 12b. Way better than Kepler 22b. I mean, it's like 595 light years closer to this solar system, and all stars and no weight make Chase a happy boy.
Estimated travel time, 200 years.
Okay, that's longer than I expected.
Location, Pisces constellation.
Yeah, so Gliese 12b orbits this red dwarf star in the Pisces constellation, which means the planet is creative, compassionate, intuitive. Unless Pisces is placed in the 7th house, then it's bad at communication.
Chase, astrology doesn't apply to planets.
That's really naive what-if guy. I mean, Saturn literally has a ring on it. Go, girl.
Saturn is a gas giant, and it has many rings.
You know, not everybody is as into monogamy as you are, Rico, okay? And you always take his side. What's going on? Did I program you this way? Whatever, I'll get over it. Rico, now's the time for my favorite phrase. Initiate landing sequence. That really should be my catchphrase. What do y'all think?
Very little is known about Gliese 12b because exoplanets don't emit any detectable light, making it very hard for scientists to observe them. Still, scientists can deduce some basic characteristics using the Transiting Exoplanet Survey Satellite, otherwise known as TESS. This satellite stares at the sky and measures the changing brightness of a star in 20-second to 30-minute intervals as the exoplanet passes the star it orbits.
Hey, we don't need a satellite for that. I can stare at the sky with my own blinky balls.
If only it was that easy.
Oh, man, I almost had it. Now everything has a big red circle in the middle.
Well, nice try. Unfortunately, TESS can only give us data on exoplanets that pass between their star and Earth. Fortunately, Gliese 12b does just that. So this is how we know that it's roughly the same size as Earth, but is about 15 times closer to its star.
Rico, give me the stats on this red dwarf.
Loading stats.
At what point did this red dwarf make its way to Mordor? Well, Gliese might be orbiting real close to its star, but like the space gods, it's only about a quarter the size of Earth's sun. And with only 60% of the surface temperature, yeah, Chase can live with that. You know, if this planet's sun had anywhere near the size and heat of Earth's sun, I'd be dead already. I'd be a ball of flame. And my personal preference is to not be a ball of flame.
Correct. Because of its proximity, Gliese 12b receives 1.6 times more energy from its star than Earth does from the sun.
Oh, yeah, we could put a solar panel over here. And here. And over here. Oh. You know, this could be the first fully renewable planet in the cosmos. Well, that we know of, at least. Oh, it's a bit warm here. Rico, what's the temperature reading?
62.2 degrees Celsius.
Oh, okay. Oh man, I'd be worried about bringing you humans to this planet. I mean, you've done a great job heating up Earth already, pumping those greenhouse gases into the atmosphere. This planet is 62 degrees already, so clean energy only here, period. I'm looking at you, Kyle. Yeah, oh yeah. We're gonna just cover this whole section with solar panels. This would be really nice. Put a little sofa over there.
Well, scientists haven't been able to collect any data about Gliese 12b's atmosphere. We don't know how the planet would change with any additional gas emissions.
Well, not a problem. Rico, give me an atmospheric reading. Stat.
Calculating. Atmosphere composition is 52% carbon dioxide, 44% nitrogen, 3% miscellaneous gases.
Yeah, alright. Well, all that CO2 explains the heat. If Gliese 12b had no atmosphere at all, it'd be around 42 degrees. And if we had any more CO2, we'd be getting up to Venus temperatures. That would not be pleasant.
Scientists have only observed a rocky surface on Gliese 12b, but since it's in the habitable zone of a star, it could very well have water. Chase, mind doing some exploring?
Yeah, I'll look for some water. I mean, I'm thirsty anyways. And another thing that's important to know before any of you guys move here is that this planet orbits the star every 12.8 days. Do you understand the severity of what that means? Yeah, a New Year's resolution every 13 days. My resolution last year was to sign up for the What If Explorers Club on Patreon. That was an easy one. Hey, that should be your resolution too.
Gliese 12b has almost 4 times the Earth's mass. That means that even though it's the same size as Earth, its gravitational pull is much stronger.
You know, it is a lot harder to walk here now. You know, not that What If guy would think to ask. Still no signs of water. Rico, scan the surroundings for water.
Scanning.
Toot toot.
Movement detected.
What? Movement detected? You mean we're not alone out here? Oh, no. We don't know what this thing is. It could have big claws, big teeth, or worse, big feet. Oh, I hate feet. Oh, hey there, little guy. You're okay. Your feet are an average size. Ah! Oh! I'm scared. Not scared. I just got something in my throat. Okay, animal life on Gliese 12b? That means surely there must be water here somewhere. Rico, track that animal. We're gonna follow it to a water source. Where did it go? Crap. You know, Rico, while you're tracking that little dude, scan for other alien life.
None detected within a 10-kilometer radius.
Oh man, hope this little guy isn't Alone out here? That'd be so sad. Imagine being trapped on an exoplanet all by yourself, the only multicellular organism. At least I have Rico, when he's not malfunctioning, which is most of the time. So I guess me and this critter have a lot in common.
Affirmative.
You know what? You don't have to be alone out here anymore, little guy. I'm naming you Charlie, and you're coming with me. Chasing Charlie, exploring the universe. Oh yeah, I like that song. Come here, little buddy. Come here. Yeah. Oh, come on, you like the sound of that. Sing it with me. Chasing Charlie, come back here. Come back here. Come here, little buddy. Come here. Ow! Ow! Charlie! You bit my finger!
Suit decompressing.
Oh no! You stupid stock website 3D animation! No! Damn it! Damn this stupid planet! I was so close! You stupid red dwarf star! Suck it, Charlie.
Looks like there wasn't any oxygen in the atmosphere for Chase to breathe. But don't worry, he goes on these adventures all the time, dies, and somehow he always comes back. And little Charlie there gets to continue roaming Gliese 12b a free agent.
You know what's the best thing about Earth? Fast food. I know it's not the healthiest option, but if it's not so good for you, why is it so delicious? Well, I'm craving a burger now. There's only one problem. I'm on the moon, people! Yeah, no restaurants here, but that's not a problem because I'm gonna order the burger from Earth and have it delivered to me right here on the moon. No ketchup. 236 million? What?
The estimated transit duration is 3 Earth days. The delivery charge will be substantial, as it includes launch costs and mission operations.
Yeah, I get it. It's the most expensive burger in the history of burgers. Well, I guess we'll do it for the views. And you can't refund. I already hit send. Well, I'm not just gonna sit here and wait. It takes 3 days to deliver. I'm hungry now. I'm planning on doing something nobody has ever done before. I'm gonna build my own burger restaurant on the moon! Wild, I know, but hear me out. I only need a few things to get started. Water, power, 3D printer for construction, and then I just need to grow all the burger ingredients. Rico, what do you got for me?
You can collect and recycle your urine.
Blech, no, gross.
My data suggest polar craters contain significant amounts of water ice. You should head to the South Pole. Estimated travel time, 115 hours.
And miss my delivery? No way! Rico, come on, give me another idea.
An alternative source of water ice would be one of the cold traps located nearby.
Perfect!
My scans indicate a cold trap within the 90-kilometer range from your location. Estimated travel time, 5.4 hours.
Yes, now we're talking. Rico, map me! Fun fact, astronauts leave all sorts of crap on the moon, including literal crap. I mean, what did you think? People just stopped pooping when they left Earth? Nah. I mean, I get it. Why would you want to take all that crap home with you? You just dump it all here. No one would know. But this is great for me. Might as well pick up some of that old equipment that astronauts left on the moon, as long as I don't step in some literal frozen shit. Hey, Rico, are we close to one of the Apollo landing sites?
Correct. You have landed in proximity to the Descartes Highlands, the designated landing site for the Apollo 16 mission. The site could have remnants of photovoltaic arrays.
Just say solar panels, Rico. Well, that's good for me. Hopefully we can get those up. You can't run a restaurant without a little power. Hope this ancient tech still works, though. Have you ever seen a lunar scrapyard? It's not much of a yard, but you get the idea. Rico, do your scans see anything useful?
The technological remnants at the Apollo 16 site are not suitable for repurposing to power your establishment. These artifacts were engineered for specific mission objectives and were not designed to outlast the mission.
Great. Okay, well, I'll just have to start a fire to cook food then.
Negative. Combustion is impossible on the moon. The lack of an atmosphere implies the absence of oxygen.
Right. Okay, I get it. Fine, Rico. Well, this has been a fun detour. Let's at least not fail at getting water.
You have arrived.
Sweet. So, I made it to the cold trap. Doesn't look like much, but it's a special little place. Okay, so here's what you need to know about the moon. It has no atmosphere. No atmosphere means no temperature control. And no temperature control means it gets real hot during the day and super cold at night. It's really inconvenient for me, but it's even more inconvenient for water, which sublimates, meaning it goes directly from an ice to a gas and escapes into space. But right here in this spot, the sunlight never directly hits the surface, which means water ice might be nicely tucked in there, waiting for me to take it. Damn, it's cold in here. Got myself some iced water right here. Now I'm ready to make the trip back to the base. See you there. Okay, still got time. Got water, need power next. Oh, I'm gonna have to use my spaceship to power this thing. I've been on the moon for about a month now, building a habitat here. Of course, now I'll have to convert it to a restaurant. This is costing me so much cash. Burger delivery alone has wiped out my entirety of my savings. But if you guys like and subscribe, I'm sure I can do more fun projects like this. All right, gotta go. This restaurant won't build itself. Whew, still got 22 hours. Great. So it's been 38 hours of non-stop 3D printing and building, and I think I'm getting there. Sure, there's lots left to do. I mean, the roof's not on, but the power is connected. And I was able to repurpose most of my kitchen. It's looking good. Now the fun part. While my printer is finishing things up, I'm gonna grow some veggies and stuff. Rico, give me a list of ingredients. What do I need to grow around here to make this mouth-watering, beefy perfection of a burger?
The ingredient list includes a beef patty, lettuce, tomato, onions, cheese, pickles, mayonnaise, yellow mustard, white vinegar, and sesame seed bun. Sourcing these ingredients on the moon presents a highly ambitious agricultural endeavor.
Not if you do one thing at a time. Watch and learn. I'm so pumped up. I only have 22 hours before my burger gets here. And if I want to compare my lunar burger to my favorite Earth burger, there's no time to waste. Time to grow some veggies. How the hell am I gonna grow a cow in here? This is ridiculous. And what is mayonnaise?
How do you grow that? Do you milk it from something? Oh, I don't want to know.
You can start with lettuce, the simplest ingredient on the list.
Why don't I start with a bun, okay? What's a bun made out of? Wheat, right? I could grow wheat. Everybody grows wheat on Earth. It's like the easiest thing.
The recipe formulation for home-style buns necessitates the inclusion of bovine-derived milk and is subject to verification for the presence of ovum products. This requirement implicates the need for a controlled ecological system capable of supporting terrestrial livestock within the lunar environment.
Oh, I love it when you talk AI to me. But just so our viewers are clear, what exactly do I need to do?
You need to grow cows for milk production and chicken for egg production.
Okay. Hey guys, Chase here. I never thought I'd have to make this video, certainly not to you guys, but it turns out I have to admit something. You can't grow anything on the moon. I didn't know this going into this project, and I just want you guys to know that I really wanted to do this for you. The lunar soil is just so rough with these like tiny particles, okay? It's not my fault. Like, it doesn't have any nutrients. I did build a restaurant though, you know, and my burger's here, nice and fresh. Hey guys, Chase here. You know, and my burger's here, nice and fresh. Well, sort of. What? It's a 3-day-old burger. Don't judge me. You've eaten 3-day-old food before. Bit drier than usual. Scratchy. I don't remember as much knife pain in my throat as last time.
It appears you have inhaled lunar dust, which led to microabrasions to your mucosal lining. You are experiencing asphyxiation, which will be followed by cardiac arrest.
If you landed on Venus, this hot planet would crush you like a plastic bottle. It would be painful, but don't worry, it would only last 5 seconds. The longest 5 seconds of your life. And just wait till you see what happens on Mars. It's unsettling. Venus has an extremely dense atmosphere, and with that dense atmosphere comes crushing pressure. Literally, it would crush you. The Venusian atmospheric pressure is 92 times higher than the pressure you experience on Earth. It would only take a millisecond before it started crumpling your spacesuit. After 1 second, your suit's integrity would be compromised. You'd be trapped in the imploding spacesuit with no way out. And that's when your body would begin to collapse. In the next 2 seconds, your skin and muscles would compress, your blood vessels would pop, your organs would fail. Finally, you'd lose consciousness, and just like that, you'd be gone. Venus looks like a beautiful place, but it's deadly. And being crushed by extreme pressure is just one of the many ways you'd die here. Remember the dense Venusian atmosphere? Well, not only does it create crushing pressure, but it also generates the greenhouse effect. Yeah, Venus is hot, instantly boiling your insides kind of hot. Even if you could somehow withstand all that bone-crushing pressure, the heat would get you.
Oh yeah, this feels hot, like being toasted. Like bread being toasted. You guys know what toast is.
Warning. Internal temperature rising.
The surface temperature on Venus reaches 465 degrees Celsius. That's almost as hot as the lava coming out of Earth's volcanoes. You'd be feeling the effect of this intense heat within seconds. After 1 minute, your internal temperature would start rising. Cue heat exhaustion.
What if, Guy, I don't feel so good.
Body temperature. 40 degrees Celsius and rising.
At this point, you'd experience nausea, fatigue, and extreme sweating. Your internal organs would start to overheat.
It's getting dark. It's getting dark.
After 10 minutes, you'd lose consciousness. Now, you'd just have minutes left before suffering brain damage and complete cardiac arrest. On this planet, heat stroke is no joke. Nothing's a joke here, really. The Venusian air is unbreathable. It's made up of 96.5% carbon dioxide and 3.5% nitrogen, which means taking just one breath of this atmosphere would suffocate you. And if that's not enough, Venus's sulfuric rain would corrode your spacesuit and burn your skin. As far as the survival situation on Venus goes, it's a 1 out of 10. Would not recommend. Now this is Mercury.
The closest planet to the sun, like I haven't just suffered a massive heat incineration already? Come on, what if, Guy?
Well, Mercury has a little secret. It's actually extremely freezing. At least on the night side.
Surface temperature. Minus 180 degrees Celsius.
Yeah, of course. I knew that. Everybody knows that. And here, I'll let you in on a little secret. What If Explorers Club on Patreon is on a roll. That's right, get access to early episodes, and you can see me die. A lot. I die a lot.
Here's the thing about Mercury. Unlike its planetary neighbor Venus, it doesn't have an atmosphere. And without an atmosphere, there's nothing to trap the sun's heat and keep it close to the planet during the long Mercurian nights. Even though Mercury is just 58 million kilometers from the sun, as soon as night hits, it cools down rapidly. When you first land, you'll be okay. You could walk around and explore the planet.
Yeah, Rico, there's like a little numbness in my fingers. Is that normal?
Numbness in the extremities indicates the early stages of hypothermia.
Nah, I'm okay. It's like minus 180 degrees here, you know? Of course it's a little chilly. What a shocker.
Hypothermia would take a little time to kick in. It starts with a tingling feeling in your fingers, then suddenly you begin to shiver.
Yeah, I don't feel any shivers. Okay. Maybe I feel a few shivers, but it's not that bad.
Warning. Your body temperature has dropped to 35 degrees Celsius.
Can't feel my fingers.
After 10 minutes in this extreme cold, you'd barely be able to move.
Warning. core body temperature at 32 degrees Celsius. Return to the spaceship immediately.
Your muscles would feel stiff. You'd feel confused and cold.
There was at least 102 Dalmatians.
You'd feel extremely disoriented. Everything would slow down for you. But you wouldn't die. Not yet.
Warning, core body temperature now 28 degrees Celsius.
Even now, you'd still be alive. You could barely function, but you're alive. It would take about 60 minutes for Mercury's dark side to kill you. Slow, cold, and painful. But hey, at least you'd get to see some of Mercury's views before you collapsed from the extreme cold. I'd give Mercury's night side a 3 out of 10. But Mercury has a day side too, and it's burning hot. The temperature here hits 427 degrees Celsius, just slightly cooler than the temperature on Venus. And it's not the intense heat that would kill you, it's extreme radiation too. You'd feel all of it the moment you stepped out of your spaceship. Your body would start overheating. If you didn't have the protection of your spacesuit, your skin would immediately get radiation burns.
My hands! My hands are burning! Ah!
It wouldn't be pretty. All that radiation would quickly damage your DNA. It takes 1/1000th of a second to kick off that process. Within the next hour, your cells would mutate and die. So make sure to wear a spacesuit, no matter how hot it feels.
Danger. Core body temperature increased to 39 degrees Celsius.
After 5 minutes of these burning conditions, you'd begin to feel the effects of hyperthermia. If your suit's cooling system were to fail, you'd experience an amount of heat you've never felt in your life.
Oh, God, it burns! My hands! Oh, it's like they're on fire! Oh, it's exactly like they're on fire!
This sudden overheating would make you nauseous. After 10 minutes, you'd be like a piece of toast. Your body temperature would hit 42 degrees Celsius, and if you've ever had a fever like that, you'd know at this point, you'd be in delirium.
I swear, there were 103 Dalmatians. Everywhere! Dalmatians everywhere!
Exactly like that.
Rico, are you a Dalmatian?
Your muscles would become weak, and your organs would start to shut down. Now you'd be unconscious, in the middle of having heat stroke and being blasted by radiation. At this point, you wouldn't have long. Hot side of Mercury rates a 2 out of 10 from me. Alright, let's look at Mars. The red planet sounds a lot more promising. Where else in the solar system would you want to establish a human base? Well, not so fast. Mars sits just outside the sun's habitable zone. It doesn't have water or a magnetosphere. Its atmosphere is incredibly thin. It's not a place you could settle into comfortably.
What do you mean? Ours is great.
That is, until you try to breathe on it. On Mars, the air is mostly made up of carbon dioxide. You'd have to keep your spacesuit on at all times, because if you didn't, you'd die.
Spacesuit breach detected.
It only takes a minor suit malfunction for Mars to kill you. The first few seconds of inhaling the air on Mars would feel confusing.
What's confusing about this? I'm dying!
You'd be gasping for oxygen and starting to breathe more rapidly. At the same time, your breached spacesuit would start to decompress, and that would be truly awful. The atmospheric pressure on Mars is only 0.6% of what you have on Earth. As soon as your spacesuit gave in, all the pressure inside it, the pressure keeping you alive, would escape.
Warning. Danger of ebulism. Warning.
Ebulism is what happens next. As your suit's pressure suddenly dropped, your body would experience painful, blood-boiling conditions. You see, your blood and other bodily fluids have gases inside them. Exposed to the low-pressure environment on Mars, these gases would boil. Your skin would swell and puff up. After about 7 minutes, you'd be dead. This is going to be pretty graphic. Somebody put a warning on the screen. Mars would give you hope, and then gruesomely kill you the first chance it got. I'd seriously reconsider coming here, because even if you made absolutely sure that your spacesuit was safe and wouldn't suffer a life-ending breach, Mars will find another way to wipe you off its face. And that other way would be dust storms. Dust storms on Mars are wild. They can cover the entire planet, and they last for weeks or even months.
Kissy crap in here.
It's not that those storms are strong, they're not, but the dust particles are so fine that they get into your spacesuit easily and scratch it from the inside.
Oh man, what? Matt Damon can do this, so can I. Come on!
These fine particles would clog your air filters and do all kinds of damage to your equipment. From cutting off your life support systems to knocking out your heat regulation.
Warning. 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 Oxygen system failure.
Well, that's Mars for you. I give it a 6 out of 10 just for the epicness of this whole death situation. Oh, and for giving you a chance to live here. Just maybe not for too long.
I'd give Mars a 0.
There's one more rocky planet lurking on the outskirts of the solar system. Hold on. My editor is saying it's actually not a planet, it's a dwarf planet. Anyway, Pluto will be the last deadly place to visit on this list, right after the giants. Jupiter is the largest planet in the solar system, and as a gas giant, it has a number of ways to kill you. Being twice as massive as all the other planets in the solar system combined, Jupiter has astronomical pressure. This planet is basically a gigantic ball of hydrogen and helium. It doesn't have a solid surface you could step on. You'd fall all the way through its atmosphere, although it wouldn't be that long of a fall for you.
Let me guess. Suffocating, extreme pressure. What else is new?
Lightning. Yeah, that's right. Jupiter is home to some of the most violent lightning storms around.
Okay, well that's great, but I don't see any here.
Well, of course not. In the upper atmosphere, the weather is not as dramatic. The atmospheric pressure here is only 1/10 of the pressure we feel on Earth.
Capsule systems are stable.
Some 50 kilometers below Jupiter's clouds, you'd feel serious turbulence. Wind here would be strong, reaching up to 360 kilometers per hour.
Static buildup detected in the atmosphere.
As these chaotic winds violently battered you through the storm clouds, the lightning bolts would strike too close for comfort. The atmosphere around you would be highly charged. And then one of these bolts would strike the capsule head on. This massive lightning would release enough energy to power a city or two. But for your capsule, it would be game over. The electrical systems would fail, the oxygen supply would fail, and the temperature inside the capsule would drop significantly. You'd now be trapped inside a powerless, leaking capsule surrounded by a deadly storm. I give Jupiter a 5 out of 10. Could recommend. This gas giant may not be as large as Jupiter, but it's definitely the most majestic. Saturn is the second largest planet in the solar system, and just like Jupiter, it's a gas giant made up of hydrogen and helium with no solid surface. Deep down in its clouds, the unimaginable pressure of this world turns hydrogen into liquid metal. And intense storms have winds raging at 1,800 kilometers per hour. It's windy, it's hot, it's dangerous. And you might die before you even enter Saturn's atmosphere. What makes Saturn the most marvelous planet in this planetary hood is also what makes it dangerous on approach. Saturn's rings.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, I see them all right.
These rings are made up of billions of small chunks of ice and rock, ranging from grains of dust to icy chunks the size of a house. Saturn has had its rings for a few 100 million years, and it'll have them for the next few 100 million years until these icy rocks rain down on the gas giant. The thing is, these rings move extremely fast, like 70,000 kilometers per hour fast. If you're not careful, your ship might just crash into them. Saturn gets an 8 out of 10. Uranus is a beautiful, stormy, fart-smelling, deadly ice giant. It has the coldest atmosphere of all the planets in the solar system. And it can kill you in many ways. One way to go on Uranus would be to suffocate in its gases.
Oh, not the fart gases! Oh.
Close enough. 2% of the Uranian atmosphere is methane, a gas that's toxic to humans. Now, 2% might not sound like a whole lot, but it's concentrated enough to kill you within minutes. Maybe Uranian high-speed particles moving at 900 kilometers per hour eroded your suit. Or extreme temperatures of minus 224 degrees Celsius made it brittle and caused it to crack. Or hydrogen and methane had a chemical reaction with your suit materials, corroding them. On Uranus, anything could cause a breach, and even the smallest breach would lead to toxic methane exposure. But Uranus has other surprising ways to off you, like turning you into a human-sized diamond. You'd have to survive the trip deeper into Uranus to be turned into a diamond, all the way to some 10,000 kilometers below its cloud tops. That's where the pressure is so intense and the temperature is so high that carbon atoms crystallize into diamonds. About 18% of the human body is carbon, so you'd be about to undergo the most precious change of your lifetime. I'd give Uranus a 10 out of 10. Epic, sparkling, with a bit of fun. Great planet to perish on. Now, this is the last ice giant in the solar system, and the most distant planet from the Sun, Neptune.
Huh. Neptune, it looks a lot like Uranus.
It's true. Neptune has a similar mass and size as Uranus, and it's even made up of some of the same materials like hydrogen, helium, iced ammonia, methane, and water. Only Neptune has one thing Uranus does not.
Extreme winds detected.
Neptune has the fastest winds in the entire solar system. These gusts reach speeds of 2,100 kilometers per hour. they're not just winds, they're supersonic winds.
Hey, nobody told me that we were filming a Top Gun sequel in here, okay?
It gets worse, too. Not only are these winds extremely fast, but they're also turbulent. They create swirling vortices that would throw your spaceship in different directions. Intense atmospheric pressure, winds, and methane ice would start ripping the ship apart. But that's not all. If you got caught in the Neptunian supersonic vortex, the winds would violently spin the ship, and this centrifugal force would exert some serious G-forces. As Neptune's winds accelerated your ship to about 10 Gs, everything inside your body would feel heavy. That would be your organs getting compressed inside your body. Your blood would pool around your legs and cause oxygen deprivation to your brain. You'd lose consciousness pretty quickly. It would only take about 5 minutes for the ship and your body to lose their structural integrity completely and disintegrate into the Neptunian atmosphere. Well, that was pretty violent. I give Neptune a 2 out of 10.
Well, I know you guys like Pluto, so since you asked so nicely, I thought I'd give you a little treat and show you what it's like here.
Pluto isn't exactly a planet. It's a dwarf planet on the outskirts of the solar system. It's smaller than Earth's moon, but even this tiny rock has ways to kill you.
It's a little cold in here, you feel that?
Temperature reading, minus 239 degrees Celsius.
Pluto is even further away from the sun than Neptune, so it barely gets any of the sun's energy. One small malfunction in your spacesuit insulation, and you'd freeze to death. You'd feel the frostbite setting in after just 30 seconds. Another 30 seconds later, your bodily fluids would start turning into icicles, and you'd get extreme hypothermia as an unpleasant bonus that you didn't ask for. After 2 minutes, your body temperature would drop below 30 degrees Celsius, which is the exact moment when you'd lose consciousness. After 3 minutes, your body would freeze and your organs would fail. You'd become one with Pluto's frozen landscape. Quick and almost painless. That's a 7 out of 10 for Pluto.
It did hurt.
Hey guys, we've got some fantastic news. What If has been nominated for a Webby Award for Best Science and Education Channel. The Webby Awards are kind of like the Oscars, but for the internet. They're a pretty big deal, and it would mean the world if you voted for us. It only takes a few seconds. Just click on the link in the description, click Vote on What If, make an account, and that's it. If we win, it would be a huge honor for everyone on the team, and it'll help us make even better videos for you. So, once again, click on the link in the description and vote for the show. Remember, every single vote counts, and you've only got till April 17th, so act fast. Thanks so much. Welcome to hell! Yep, sorry, I meant Venus. Welcome to Venus. Some say it's Earth's twin, but this world is nothing like home. And you're about to experience this scorching hot landscape firsthand.